Welcome to another episode of Quantum Blade Gaming, where today we're going to take a look at the fantastic game Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is a game by Yacht Club Games, and I have to admit, when it first came up on Steam, I really didn't give it... Where today we're going to take a look at the fantastic game Shovel Knight. Really did not give it a proper look, because it was coming up at about the same time that a bunch of the, shall we say, Minecraft knockoffs were coming up. And so with a name like Shovel Knight, I just kind of glanced over it, didn't really give it a fair try. And later I was looking at it, it was on sale, and I noticed it's got a Metacritic rating of 85, which, you know, a lot of indie games don't even get a Metacritic rating. With 85, that's a pretty good rating, so I decided, well, it's on sale, I'll give it a try and see how it goes. And I have to say, Yacht Club Games has done a tremendous job with this game. It's fantastic. As you can tell already, my recommendation is just go get it. It is a 2D side-scroller that they really nailed just about every aspect of this game, from the 8-bit style music to upgradable armor and weapons to a storyline that's for honor and love that you can really get behind, to the introduction of mechanics. I really just can't say enough good stuff about this game. So, first of all, let me take you through the startup screen. And after you beat the main campaign, you can actually start a second campaign with Plague Knight. I think he may be the only second playable character right now. He's actually one of the villains in the original storyline, but we'll select Shovel Knight for this one. This is probably my one gripe right here, is when you start your new profile, I would like to be able to just type my username, but instead I have to use WSAD keys to get over to the letter I want and select it. You know, I mean, if that's your biggest complaint about a game, then, you know, they did something right. Let's see. Bear with me here. There we go. And done. So here we go. Choose this profile, yes. And here we go. Here is the story, which I will be quiet for a minute and let you read. And so here we go. So you've got, you know, your basic attack. You can attack down. Later in the game, you get a whole bunch of additional abilities. All throughout the game, you collect gems, which you need to be collecting gems as you go to be able to pay for upgrades later. Upgrade both to your armor and to your weapon, as well as to get, jumping ahead of myself a bit, but to get artifacts which give you additional abilities. Now, one thing about this game is when you do a downward stroke, it stays downward stroked to, you know, so if you want to pogo across multiple enemies, you don't have to keep pushing the down button. There's another game, Rogue Legacy, that I play occasionally that, unfortunately, every time you go down do a top-down attack. On that game, you have to basically renew the downward stroke, I guess you could say, if that made any sense. Okay. Well, here's a feature of the game right here. So when you die, you drop money in a nice little floaty bag like that, and you go back to your nearest checkpoint. And so assuming you can get back to that spot in one life, your money, I'm not sure if it's 100% or not, but the bulk of your money will still be there. So you can come over here and see, there it is. So I just have to get to it and get it without dying again, and I will have essentially recovered all that I lost right there. Now, of course, if you die twice in a row, that's another matter. Another little feature right here, you see this piece of the wall at about head level that looks a little bit different. Every level has its own icon to indicate a breakable wall. So in this level, that's what that's indicating. It's indicating something that I can shovel and it will break. So you want to keep your eyes open for, like I said, they're different on every level, so you have to figure out what it is for your level and then keep an eye out for it. Then others like this, you see there's no icon there, but yet it's still breakable. So, music sheets here, you want to collect those whenever you can. They're worth, I think it's 5,000 each. And you notice this blob of mineable stuff was actually on the wall, so don't look just at flat surfaces. And you can go back and forth and cause an enemy to respawn, but once you've collected the gem from an enemy, it's not going to drop it again until you exit that level and come back in completely. And you do get a nice high boost when you jump on an enemy. Now that's what I did right there. I had him down, but as I was falling, I swiped, because remember, it stays down, right? So if you just don't do anything, you'll just keep pogoing down to the bottom. So occasionally you have to actually fight the mechanic of it continuing to pogo in order to get to something you're trying to collect. Meals restore your health. That's a checkpoint. You can bounce on checkpoints, by the way. There's actually more mechanics checkpoints than just that, but I don't want to spoil that surprise yet. I'm trying to remember now which way is, I think that way that I just opened up is actually the direction you go to finish the level, so I want to come up this way. And no, actually I told you wrong. Here we go. So pogoing is a very valuable skill for getting around in certain areas. Checkpoint. This treasure chest right below me, I have never figured out how to get to that one. So if any of you viewers out there have played this before and you know how to get to that, please drop me a note and let me know how you get to that one. And you really do need to be collecting all these gems in order to buy your upgrades. The in-game currency is good for buying upgrades to your armor, to your weapons, as well as to your health and in people. The treasure chests, I love the animation they did here with the treasure chests. In order to open them, you don't just push the up key or whatever, you actually swipe at them with the shovel, and then you get this animation, which I love. I think that's just one of those nice little touches that makes it all the much better. And by the way, if any of you are watching on Twitch and are asking me questions in the chat channel, I apologize, I only have one monitor, so I'm actually not seeing those at the moment. This guy, actually, it turns out, is harder than the quote-unquote first boss you'll fight after him. But there's good reason to. Well, I don't want to give the plot away, but... Our little hero there, his little victory dance. Not paying enough attention to the villain who slips away. I love how they did this part too, because it just reinforces the story of why you're bothering to do all this, as opposed to, you know, they could have just done a one-time, you know, statement of what was going on and then basically leave all the animations until the end, or you know, without any cutscenes to reinforce that, but they don't. They reinforce it throughout the game, which just, in my opinion, makes it that much better. So here at the end of that, when you try to move at first, it's like you're trying to rouse from sleep. You can't actually move until you jump. And it's always good practice to put out your campfire. So there are two stages, right? The world map and then the individual dungeons that you go through. And you can't get to any more dungeons until you first take a look at the village. You'll come back here often. You can talk to all these characters. And this guy right here, the Bard, he's the one that you're going to turn in all those music sheets to. Okay, my bad. It was 500 each, not 5,000. Just a zero. I mean, wasn't off by that much. So that's basically what he's here for. He's here to turn in music sheets and get money, and if you really want to, you can talk to him again, and you can... any of the songs that you have found, you can queue up. So if I want, let's see, this one, I can change the music. So not a big feature, but you know, if you particularly like a specific track of music, it's nice. Now these two right here, these are probably almost two of the most important NPCs in the game, because he will let you get permanent health upgrades, and she will let you get permanent MP upgrades. Be sure to talk to this guy down here, because you basically get a free health upgrade from him. Or, okay, well I guess it's not free, it costs 1,000. There's a ticket. So you see this guy's rejoicing over here. Yeah, you've got a ticket. You can hand the ticket in. Cook us up a meal real quick. And you got a golden plate of food, which gives you, now you'll see the life meter has an extra pip on it. Now with her, you don't actually have to have tickets for her, but it does still cost money. I guess you actually have to get a relic before she'll sell you an upgrade. Trouble. Not quite sure how you're supposed to pronounce that. So these are actually not bad investments. You can go to one particular place on the map to choose which one of 3 effects you get it filled with, and then you can use those whenever you, not whenever you want to, they are one-time use, but you can get free refills on them. I think the effects are like, one is temporary immunity, one is a health and MP restore, and I think the third one attracts nearby treasures to you, so you don't have to actually go run over them. And this guy right here, he's the one that sells artifacts. Artifacts are awesome because they really let you do extra stuff. So let's see. I don't know if we have enough money to do both here. Let's try. Okay, so we got that one. So W and J. So these are basically your MP attacks. Hold down W, do J. Bounces around. Talk to him again, see if I can get the fishing pole. Yes, I can. Awesome. So the fishing pole you use basically wherever you would normally fall to your death, like the infinite drops that happen all over the place here. So I'm not going to talk to all of those. I'll leave that for you to experience on your own. Now that I actually have some artifacts, though, I can talk to her. And see, I can get a permanent boost here. Don't have enough money to do it, unfortunately. So, no, a little short on gold. Probably could actually go turn those in now and get that, but that's okay. So now that that's clear, you can come back to that village anytime you're on the world map, and so in order to progress, really, see these are locked gates, so in order to get past this point, you have to defeat Spectre Knight. So first thing is we're going to, before I go there, this spot right here, Tropal Pond, is the one where you can go fill up your chalice if you have one. So real quick, let's see a little bit of this level. This is probably the easiest boss. And let's see if I can remember how to, yeah, U switches by default, U and I cycle through your artifacts. Okay, so right here, it's a spot where I would normally fall to my death if I fell in there. Hold down, with the fishing rod equipped, hold down W, and then hold J. He drops the fishing line. Dun, 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 dun. You wait, you keep holding, and then when he does that, you press spacebar, and I'm not sure, I didn't catch that before it disappeared. A lot of times you'll just fish up a fish, which gives you a little bit of health when you pick it up. So if you're low on health, that's an alternative to hoping to find a meal. Okay, so notice the sparkles in this one. Right? That means there's some extra special treasure there. So where normally you would normally just get food, there's something more valuable there. So I'm going to fish that one real quick. So that gave me some gold. So see this symbol here on the wall? That's this level's version of a breakable indicator. So you want to check behind all the hanging things that you go behind. Now, an interesting thing, all the other checkpoints that we've seen had kind of little wings around the globe. I want to show you something about checkpoints here in a minute, but before I can really show you that, I think I need to get to a second checkpoint. And I missed actually, you know, you get that boost off of killing an enemy. I missed getting up there on the ledge. Now, if I wanted to try again, I can just leave this tile, I guess you could say, and come back into it and give it another go, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. Okay, so there's a second checkpoint, so I'll soon be able to demonstrate what I was wanting to show. Okay, so, I guess here's a good place in this inning. So let's say I died. Oh no! Okay, so then here, takes me back here. Now, I actually thought I was going to get a choice there. Like a choice of which checkpoint to go back to. Maybe I have to have 3 to have a choice. Try this one more time with feeling. Ow! So no, it's not actually letting me choose. Well, what I really wanted to show you was that if, I don't really want to do it to that one. Let's see how far back it is to the previous one. I don't need to kill you again, I already got your gem. Okay, so it wasn't too far back to the other one. So what I wanted to show you is this. So you see, and maybe it's because there's no value in this one that I couldn't choose between it. But basically, you can break these, and you see that's, okay, so that one did have value. So you can break checkpoints, some checkpoints, not all. If it's got the little wings around it, you can just bounce on top of it forever and you'll never break it. But you can break some checkpoints and get some additional money out of them, but then next time you die, you can't choose that point anymore. So it's kind of a risky trade-off. You want to try and get the more money. There we go, I got it this time. Or do you want to keep all of your checkpoints intact? So like right now I could break this checkpoint, but if I did that and then I died, I would start actually back at the very beginning of the level. So not a particularly good outcome. Yeah, let's see how badly I can die with this. Yep. So you see the one with the X? That's the one I broke. So I can't go back to that one. Question is, can I get all my money back from these guys? Ah. So see there, I permanently lost some money because I died before I recovered all 3 bags. Oh, that was lame. Pretend like you didn't see that. Okay, I'm only going to give this one more try for the sake of the video. Yes! Okay. So there I pressed the W key to go through this trapped panel, which I believe is the only one of its kind in the whole game. I was expecting to see some more, but... So you get in here, you know these are going to fall. You hop across pretty quickly. You get to this one and go, ooh, nice shiny chest, what could possibly be in it? Chester's in it. Oh my goodness. So he has a fire wand, or flare wand, for 1,000. So anytime you can buy these artifacts, I highly suggest you do, because there's all kinds of cases where one artifact or another is the one you really need. So this one's really nice. I really like this one. Now the dangerous part of getting back. Woohoo! Onward to the next checkpoint. I don't remember now which one is the checkpoint. Okay, I won't pass down and turn down a checkpoint right now. But it was the other way that was the more treasures. Let's see about if we can go this way real quick. Well, I didn't realize bouncing on the helmet like that gave you a gem. Okay, so I gotta reset the blocks because I took out the ones I needed. Oh, I only get one shot at that one. Well, sorry, can't show you the treasure way right there. I don't remember if there's a sheet of music up that way or not. So I could find a convenient way to kill myself and just come back in at that checkpoint and redo that room, but I'm not going to bother. Okay, so here's a good example of why having this wand is a good idea. Except I need to get to a better location. About here, I think I'll say. Yep. But I'm out of anything now. So, old-fashioned way. Ouch. Hopefully it drops food as well. Checkpoint. Oh, rats. This particular area is a little extra treasure area. Did you notice it? The breakable icon right there? Unfortunately, I can't get to those without one of those guys to bounce off of. This one you have to be careful you don't hit the ground like I just did 3 or 4 times, or you wind up not having any surface to fight on. I was kind of hoping this particular part wasn't going to be in this level. Kind of forgot it was, because this is probably where I don't do well again. So these pages disappear after a while until you hit the next book. Oh my goodness, I hit it across in one try. You should have seen how many times I died to that the first time I played this level. So don't feel bad if you do. Yeah, so not always good stuff, usually, but not always. Yeah, of course I'm out. I believe this may be the boss fight coming up next. Yep. Guy's real easy. He bounces around a lot, but he doesn't jump very high. You can usually get above him and just bounce on him, and when he does that, he stands in place, so... Love how his crown flies off there at the end. So you will get a nice little campfire after most bosses. You won't always get a dream sequence like here we did. But do always put out your campfire. Totally worth it. So you see that released a lock there. We also have this roaming band here. We could go fight them. And these are like They're often either some sort of an encounter with some particular NPCs or a like bonus area, which is basically what this one is, bonus area. Ouch. I see you over there. If you die on this one for some reason, then the encounter is still available on the map. You can try it again, which is good, especially if you die and like lose money. So there, I cleared it, and it's gone. Now you'll want to go back to the village on a fairly regular basis to buy upgrades to your health at MP, and to turn in music. And you really do want to talk to all of the NPCs. So now I can buy another meal ticket from him for 4,500. Notice the price went up significantly. Or I can get an NP 1,500, which I think I'll do. And anytime you're back in town, be sure to check and see if there's new artifacts to buy. If you don't have enough money to buy a relic while you're playing a level, you can get it from him here later. So if you bought them all as you went, then there may not be any reason to come back and talk to him about them. So that more or less is a reasonably quick look at this game. We didn't get far enough to really show you upgrading of armor and weapons. There's a second village that you can't see right now. It's still obscured in the clouds over there. And that's the village where you upgrade your weapon and armor. So really terrific game. Love it. I had a hard time putting it down. Would highly recommend it. I got it on sale, but honestly, I would say just go get it. It's terrific. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me remind you, once you've beat the campaign the first time, it unlocks one of the villains and you can play through again. It has a different storyline. The villain has different motivations, completely different abilities, and you access areas of the map that you cannot get to with Shovel Knight. So it does add some replay ability. There's also challenge modes that you can try, and so a little bit of replayability. Personally, I didn't get it for the replayability part, but just the first playthrough is just a really good game. Length was about right. I wouldn't have minded if it had been a little bit longer. Not that it really needed to be longer, it's just I enjoyed it so much that by the end of it I didn't want it to be over. So anyway, this has been a look at Shovel Knight. Hope you've enjoyed it. And as always, if you did enjoy this video, I hope you will follow on Twitter or subscribe if you're seeing this on YouTube. And hope to see you again in a future video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.